Hi, and welcome everybody to another episode of Deep Space. Today's episode is Afghanistan animation. I don't know. Dino made the flyer, and that's what we're calling this shit. But today we're going to be talking about the great, amazing job of the great pullout game that America has. And if you can't tell I'm being sarcastic, I'm being sarcastic. So I'm being joined today by the one and only Marco from Upside Down Studios, live from Upside Down Studios. And we are actually going to be on iHeartRadio tonight. So let's bring Marco in.
I am here. My camera is not cooperating, but I am here. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. You hear me good?
Yep. So once I get this camera up, you can see me. But yes, we are live on iHeartRadio and on Spreaker and on YouTube and on every other millions of platforms that we're on.
Well, rock on. We know we got you first the show. Give us a like, Give us a share, and comment away. Join the debate. Join the conversation. Hey, if you're in the Ohio area, go check out Ohio City Barbecue. They're on Lorraine Road, and if you mention Eargasm Comedy, you are going to get 15% off your whole dang order. Also, don't forget to check out our other overlord, Brick and Equity. If you're looking to buy or sell your first home, Brick and Equity is definitely the place to do it. Go ahead and give them a call. And let's see here. You can join us on the 25th and check out Never Settle Apparel because they're awesome, and I told you to. Okay, that's our sponsorship plug. That's what we're doing there. This is great. We are going to have some fun today with Marco's sound and things, so we apologize in advance. But Marco, let's just dive right in, bud. So let me ask you this to start things off, because I'm sure we're going to disagree today, and that's what it's all about. Let's just start with an easy question. Do you think that we needed to pull out of Iraq and Afghanistan?
Yes. Yes. We had to get out regardless. It was just the way it was done was real. We all could agree that it was done fucked up. Now the causes of that well, first of all, because I know what your first argument is going to be. All the money we dumped in there, we should have never been in there. We had to get our guys out anyways. Yeah, we understand that. But the plan that was implemented not 4 years ago, it was actually still intact 10 months ago, before January 20th. We were slowly but surely taking soldiers out of there. We went from, I think it was 25,000 soldiers down to 15,000 soldiers, and it was never supposed to go into the hands of the Taliban. That wasn't even part of that wasn't even part of it. With the peace deal that was brokered out there, now this is what bothered me, because you brought this up in a conversation you and I had. Where was the Afghan army after all these years of training and all these years of everything? Where was this army of the Afghans? Well, I found out that a lot of those were called ghost soldiers, and which means they were kind of there when they popped in or whatever when they wanted to. And because of the peace deal, the Afghan people pretty much thought that India and the rest of the countries that were in that peace deal were going to take care of them. So they were like, fuck it, why do we have to fight? And after January 20th, all that shit went by the wayside. All the treaties, all the everything that were implemented got executive ordered the fuck out. And, now we got this debacle. No, it's not.
Did you hear me? You heard me say that then.
Well, see, this is the problem with that too. I was on your end with that. Yeah, I was on your end with that. I mean, how you just gonna pack up? Not even really pack up. You grabbed the least amount of shit and bailed. But here's the odd thing I found out today about that. I caught something in an Australian news, Sky News Australia. They were covering it and the whole mess that this is. And now what's very odd is,
yes, it is.
we left that shit on purpose, not for the Afghans, but for the fucking Taliban, dude. They were demilitarized. It was already put out there on the news that they were demilitarized weaponry. Now, why the fuck would we? That goes back into what you're saying. Why are we leaving this shit there and then giving it over to the enemy?
So they're going to fight the people. Because they don't want this shit to end.
Yes.
It's gonna cost you $35. I got you on that. Paperwork for John. Look it over for me. Whenever you get a minute.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Dude, did you not see the Taliban hanging the guy and flying him over the city? Did you not just see that? That was like 2 days ago. They hung a dude from one of our Blackhawks, and they're trying to say that they were just joyriding, but how do you even call that joyriding? You're hanging somebody and flying it around your city. That's intimidation. Now, here's the thing. Here's the big issue that I have with all this mess. Not my biggest, but a big issue that I have with this mess is when the peace deal was brokered, the only country that was not in the deal was Iran. And who in Iran, who runs Iran pretty much? The fucking Taliban. Now, I just don't understand how we went from all these countries together and Iran told us to go fuck ourselves to now we got to beg Iran for fucking oil, and we gave Afghanistan to the Taliban. And India got real shady too, because India was supposed to help out in the whole deal because they have big. Oh, you got me on camera on the big camera. I'll check that shit out. Anyways, India was supposed to back everything up and help out with this, and here they came in through India. So they knew this shit was, they knew this was going down, and that, Biden was just the administration, this administration. Because you're right, it's not all Biden. Biden's the head of the pimple, but there's the whole pimple there too. And just the fact that everything that was said, I mean, even, I'm a military person. I got friends that are military. We know sometimes there's sloppy deals. You know, we know. I would hope from the plan from the last administration, everything was going to go smooth, but there was still going to be some blood out there. We all knew that shit, so I was going to let that go. But when you are sitting there and you got Nancy Pelosi saying we won the war, we got Biden saying that we got the soldiers out, we didn't win the war. In one interview, he said we didn't win the war. Next interview says we did win the war. We got generals that don't know one hand washing the other. Our soldiers are being called terrorists because they spoke up against what's going on, because we as Americans aren't getting the full story on. I don't care what news channel you're watching. You know, again, like Ryan said, you know, we have to watch Australian news and the BBC and Russian news, Russian fucking news, to actually get, you know, the true story of what's happening over here. They don't give shit, you know, they don't give a shit. Now, another odd thing is, yes. And like the numbers are constantly changing. Well, well, here's a rebuttal to that. And if I start cutting out, let me know. First of all, it isn't just um, people who are working there with their families and stuff. There's also kids there who went there. There's high school, the high school there was some kind of exchange program. There's kids over there that are U.S. kids that were there for school. And again, just like you said, a lot of the media shows you this shithole of the litter box. But if you do some deep research, there's a lot of that litter box that was supposedly bombed or supposedly this and that. It's supposed to be, that is fucking gorgeous. That is all modern. That is regular buildings that the war never even touches. That part never gets touched. And Afghanistan was part of that. If you would have saw Afghanistan before it got bombed, you know, it was fucking crazy. You know, it looked just like the U.S. So, go ahead. No, I get it. I get it. If it was still a war zone, if it was still like that, I would understand totally what you're saying. You're absolutely right. Your stupid ass had warning.
You go fuck with Shauna right now. You're at the laundromat.
Oh, man. I'm not walking that far.
I don't know why they didn't go to the one at Hubbard.
Well, you also got to realize, though, that there was a timeline implemented, and the timeline that the new timeline or whatever that got put out there was, nobody really had a chance to prepare for that shit. And also, it wasn't just this hunky-dory, let's make it to the airport. It was like playing a fucking video game, trying to dodge shit, trying to get to the airport. Right. It was easier to get across the American border for the Mexicans than it was to get from across town over in Kabul.
You ever cutting in and out real bad, Marco? You hear me? You were cutting in and out real bad.
I wonder if we can get him and put him over our mics on our show. Do you hear me, Greg? Nope. Right. Are you here? Can you hear me? All right. So, the are we still live on our end?
Nope.
No. All right. Now, I tried using my hotspot, this. Now we got all my this. The studio equipment's down, so if you still hear that static, then that's coming from my computer. So is that where it's coming from? Because the next time I'll use a different computer. Okay, so that is coming. Yeah. Yeah, I told. Yeah. I agree, but here's another thing. Do you want to stay live either on this or on you can go to your messenger video and just we'll put you on the audio for our thing and we can talk on my show just audio because ours runs fine over here. This I wanted to do to check it out and make sure everything was fine, but then you had to work and I had nobody to test this out with, and I'm working on a hotspot and supposedly one of my high-end fucking touchscreen laptops, and this thing fucking sucks. I would rather use one of my Chromebooks.